Hey guys, this is MD with another Anime Studio tutorial, this time on eyes. Now, if you remember last week, we were going over the basis of a character's head. But now we're going to be getting into more detail by basically making the eyes. Now, let me just state that the eyes are the most important piece to your character out of the entire body, head and all. Why? Because the eyes are the part where your audience is going to be drawn to the most. And, well, being drawn to the most, they're going to be looking at all the little details unconsciously, and if something looks a little strange, then it's going to kind of kill the whole quality of the whole character. Now, basically, first thing we want to know about the eyes is I've been researching and looking into all these different things when it comes to animation on how to have smooth transitions from an eye being open to an eye closing, to a happy eye, to a sad eye, to an angry eye, etc. So, let me just kind of move this aside and pull this thing up here. Now this is the new cotton look. As you know, some of you guys know, I'm redoing all the looks of the characters for The Last Dragon Rider. So this is the new cotton look. Now as you can see here, here's the main expressions for his eyes. We have kind of a weird, curious / angry look, happy, excited, a little bit of a freaked out WTF, sad or worried, and kind of uninterested or angry. And this one's kind of neutral. Right here. Now notice with the eyes, we basically have all of the same features. We have the eyeball, or the eye white is what I like to call it. We have the pupil, which is basically the same size throughout. And we have the eyelids, and I'll get in detail what the eyelids are. It's actually a layer that's made up on top of all the different bottom layers, allowing the pupil to basically move freely and disappear as it basically hits the outer parts of the eye. And we also have our eyebrows, and some of these little tiny lines here representing the skin kind of folding in particularly different fashion for each, style of eye. And so we're going to be getting into basically how to add all these things in and basically have them come together and mesh perfectly in the way where it's going to really improve the animation quality and basically everything else. Now, to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a vector layer. And we're going to name this vector layer Eye Whites. Or just, Eye Whites. Now, for a front view of a character, I usually have both eyes being the... I usually don't make two separate actions for each eye, like the right eye and the left eye. I usually make them all one. But in this case, I'm going to be making each different eye have its own separate action, and I'll get into more detail in a minute. Let's just get started with the eye. So what we're going to do is, actually let me take away the S on this, eye white. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to basically open up a plain white color, get our auto stroke and auto close, and we're going to just take this thing away real quick. If you guys hear noise in the background, my brothers just have company over. Hopefully, I don't think that'll. I just want to apologize for that. Now, let's see. Let's start with the right eye. So basically, we're going to follow as best as we can the basically normal shape of the eye, and this is now the eye white. So let's now cut down the stroke. You don't have to make too much of a stroke here because the eyelashes will be done on a separate layer. So let's just connect all these up here. Yada yada yada. Okay. Basically, this is just gonna be the basic outline of each of the pupils. So let's just match them up. Ta-da. Okay, if you guys have no idea what I'm talking about or how I'm using these tools in the program, I would go check out my other lessons, especially my first lesson, which describes how to use the tools in Anime Studio. I would not start here. I repeat, do not start here. I would rewatch, well, not rewatch. If you have not watched my stuff before, go watch my first lesson going over tools, and then my second lesson going over the basis of a head. Now, if you guys out there have already used Anime Studio before and you just want to know how to better animate eyes and such, well, you come to the right place. Just keep here, stay focused, look at what I do, and you guys will know how to animate eyes with perfect, smooth, I don't know what I'm saying, smooth like quality. That made no sense. Ignore that. Oh wow, there's something wrong there. Let's just smooth that out. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Okay. So let's see. There we have our basic eye. It looks a little big at first, but we haven't got all the other features such as the hair in to help dwarf all these features. So yeah, do notice that, you know, when you have your doodle, try keeping all the other features in mind. Don't think, oh my gosh, I made the eye so big, because sometimes your other features will help dwarf that down for you. But I do have to enlarge the hair here because the other characters here, their hair is a lot larger. Okay, now that we have our left eye white, now it's left for if you were looking in her direction, but it's right for us. Naturally, we would make another vector layer and make them start with a pupil. But I have a little rule. Now, if I've already made a head angle of the same character, but just I'm making a different head angle, I'm going to actually take the pupil of a different angle and just put it in here. Now, these aren't the original files, these head angles. These were imported, so these aren't the original. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to Luna's head side, open up her eyes, copy her pupil, and basically steal it. There we go. I stole her pupil. There we go. Okay. Now, her pupil should be, there it is, her pupil. I'm going to now put her pupil above her eye white, and let's see, is that the right size for it? No, it's not. Let me enlarge it. Right about there. I'm just going to have her looking forward at us. That's good, right there. Okay, now next what we're going to do is we're going to make the eyelid. Now this is a trick I found out about the eyes myself. I bet other people have used this trick before. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to be putting a layer that goes perfectly around the eye white. That goes on top of both the eye white and the pupil, but it still leaves this eye white and pupil area open. So when we want to move our pupil around, and let's say the pupil for argument's sake, let me just close this out. The pupil for argument's sake goes out here. It won't kind of float outside of the boundary of the eye. It'll actually disappear behind basically the skin, or the eye socket, is what is going to really help out. See, most times people will make different eye motions. They'll have an eye that's up here, an eye that snaps down here. It's a quick snap, basically, because it's different positions where they have the pupil when they switch it in the animation. But for this, you can just get this really smooth eye transitions, and it's going to look really great when it's done. Okay, so basically we're going to name this eyelid. Eyelid. Okay, there we go, eyelid. Now, basically what we're going to do is, okay, hang on. Okay, basically we're going to steal Luna's original base color for her head by pressing Q, cancel it out, and basically take away the stroke. Now, for here, we're going to be careful because we have to keep in consideration that we also have this eye that's right here. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the head layer. I don't need the head layer right now. Oh, don't forget to also put the center of your layer where they need to be, such as the eye. It's already there for the eye white. I put the cross here, and the eyelid, just put that there, I guess. Okay. Okay, we're done. Okay, so back to business. We're going to now basically start to outline her eye here. And just come up here, go across around here, and don't get too close to the mouth, and come across here, and go up here, then follow back down here. Okay, that was very shabby, but we're going to go fix that up now. Now, this trick is probably the best thing you're going to want to use for the eyes if you're making your animated character. It uses the least amount of layers as possible, and it's really, really easy and quick to make. It's not time consuming at all whatsoever. Let's see, connect those two, bring it down. Okay, so yeah, let's see. I wish I could put music on my headphones, but if I put on my iTunes, I'm gonna risk my my screen recorder skipping. It's done that sometimes before because I'll have my music on. I don't know why. It's stupid, but oh well. I need to stay focused anyway on what I'm talking about. Okay. So yeah, if you guys saw that cotton head, I'm gonna be posting that new head design actually on DeviantArt. So if you guys have a DeviantArt account and you check out my DeviantArt account at Star to Behold, it will be there, and you guys can take a look at it in more detail. As you guys, some of you guys know, I'm completely changing the look for all the characters, and as you can see here, I'm changing Luna's look here. Okay, so you see this big old, tear here? No matter if I fold this side over this side, it seems to be still, not working. The reason why is because, well, you can't double up on a layer upon itself. This is the same shape here, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a whole new shape to go just resting over that. Simple, easy enough. That was quick. We're done, basically. Let's just fold that up there. Okay, we are done with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add eyelashes. Actually, no. Wait. I'm skipping steps. Let me bring her head back. There we go. Let's bring your head back. We're gonna time to work this thing out. Okay, I don't want to cover up her shadows here, so I'm just gonna do my best to work around them. Now this is a good distance for the pupil because I don't see her pupil rolling all the way to the back of her head. I just don't see that happening. So you can get a little. You don't have to, give a whole bunch of room for the eyelid and for her pupil, because I highly doubt your character is going to roll their eyes to literally the back of their skull. Because in real life, your characters probably won't be doing that anyway. Okay, let's see. Let's fix this here. Just pull that down. And there you go. Okay, now her pupil's where it should be. Now watch this little beauty. I'm going to grab it and I'm going to move it, and see how it disappears? It disappears where it should, but if you go too far, you find yourself, falling outside of that layer, that eyelid. But don't worry, because when we make the other eye, the eyelid will cross over this one in the center, basically to where I could pull it all the way over here, and it'll still disappear. So yeah, well, not that far, because it'll be hitting the other eye. Okay, so let's see, we got that where we want it. Okay, now we're going to be making the eyelashes. We're going to be opening up our auto stroke and taking away our auto close. Now let's basically kill the layer. There we go. Now let's basically get a good idea about our eyelashes. I'm going to move over to these characters and kind of study how I did their eyelashes. Okay, okay, got it. I got it. Okay, here we go. We're basically going to just take our stroke line and just move up around the eye and kind of come out here. Okay, we're going to bring that back, make it about this thick at the most. Drag our points back down so they kind of match the rest of the shape of the eye. And we're going to add a few points here. Here and here, and here and here. Okay, you don't want to make her eyelashes too much because she's a dragon still. Okay, don't want to make it too feminine, like she's still like some of her tomboyness to her. That's what helps her in her character. Okay, so let's see. I'm just going to shorten some of these up that need to be shortened up. Point that. Oh, by the way, I'm shortening these stroke lines up by pressing W and clicking on the points here. Okay, so there we go. And just add another little eyelash thingy. I don't know what to call it. I really don't care. I don't really think it has a name for it to begin with. Okay, let's just move them where they should be. This main part right here where you're trying to make the standard eye is what I call it. Basically, it's the standard eye you're going to be using for mainly most of your expressions. Basically, happy, open. This is my term for it. Happy open. Happy open. Okay. It's going to be time consuming because you're going to want to put the most time into this because it's going to be basically the base for all your other eye expressions, and we'll get into more detail with that in a second. Okay, now let's basically create her bottom eyelash here. Let's basically run along. That was actually didn't turn out too bad. Make it about yay thick. Make it come out only to there. Add another point. Fix up these points. I talk to myself a lot during animation. Excuse me for that. Just helps me remember what I'm doing. There's a lot of steps here, and I'm now holding tutorial on top of that, so you can imagine the confusion going on. Okay, let's see. Just shorten the width of the eye, and we are done. Okay, cool. That looks actually pretty much the same as the other ones. The other ones seem to be shorter, not as open. Okay, now that I've had a good look at this eye here, I'm actually going to wind up shortening the height of the eye, which is usually something I find out during my animations a little while afterwards, which is, I think, is a good thing that you find out, you know, these little things that need improving. So let me just improve her eye right now. I don't think I need it that widely open. I can always make another separate eye expression for that. I don't think I need to do that. So let me just close this out, close the eye more together, and it'll match the other one. So when she switches her head, you won't notice this huge change in expression, which would totally kill the quality of the illusion of it being the same head. Okay, so let's just close these together. The rest of the steps are going to go by a lot quicker. It's just getting basically this main standard eye done is what it's going to take, is where the time's going to be taken up when you make your animation. If you do it this way, that is. Okay, so basically let's just close these out. Now the eye white, I'm just going to leave it. It can be that height, because the reason why is I can always, like I said, widen the eye if I want to. For, let's say she gets really scared and I want her eyes just to open a lot. Well, the eye white's already tall as it is, so I can just always change the size of the eye for that particular scene, and boom, bada bing, I have a already pre-made eye expression. Don't need to work with it anymore. Okay, that is a lot better. Okay, that's so much better. It doesn't look like she's freaking out. Okay, anyway, here I think I did, this head was originally to have her look like she was freaked out. And same with Silver down there. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, now I'm going to get into another important fact. Do not skip this step. This is an important step if you want your eye transitions to be as smooth as possible. Okay, take a look. Now right here, let me zoom up here so you guys can get a good idea. Like I said, these little lines, these little folds of the skin, you're going to want to include these with your original standard eye. Now by doing that, we're going to hide them behind the actual eyelashes themselves. But when we start creating different shapes of the eyes, we're going to drag these points out like this and place them above or below where they need to be. Same with the eyebrows and with these thingies here. Or in Luna's case, she doesn't really have eyebrows, but you get the general idea. Okay, that way those lines will already be there for us to grab and manipulate, but we can always hide them away behind the eyelashes themselves. The reason why I'm saying you have to do this is because if you say, oh, I'll just add those strokes in later, and you know, when I make a separate eye expression, you'll actually break the chain between the similarity of how the your standard original eye was, and they won't transition together. It's really weird, but you just got to trust me on this. So yeah, so let's add a line that goes up here to represent her being sad. This line would show up on her being basically either sad or I think enraged, something around there. So let's just put that right there, and let's actually go over to here. So let's change these eyes to angry so you guys can get a general idea of what I'm talking about. So let's go over to eyes and let's go over to angry. Okay, now as you guys can see here, this little line right here shows up. Now watch what happens when I get rid of it. When I basically do eye happy, it disappears underneath there. Let's try eye sad. Boom, bada bing. Look at that. Both of them pop up. So I'm going to keep up eye sad real quick. That's what I named my layers. Eye sad open. Also, naming your layers is going to help you guys not get confused. So if I were you, I would really name your layers and remember what you named your layers. It's going to help you guys in the future, so I'm just helping you guys remember these steps that will make your life a billion times easier while animating. Okay, so we're just going to add another line right here. This one gets a little longer than the top. That's okay. That's actually good. We want it to be longer. Okay, let's just make it a little thinner. I don't think it needs to be so thick. There we go. Now watch this. I can always hide it behind the eyebrow. No, not the eyebrow, the eyelid. Eyelash. Dang it, eyelashes. Okay. I'm also going to stick another stroke because of the fact that this is a front view of the eye. This is something that won't be seen other than a few times by the front of the eye, just depending on what angle we're at. Let's shorten this one. This will kind of show more of that sad look to her, but in this case, we're just going to hide it behind here. Same with this. Let's put it up. Let's hide it behind. Same with this one up here. Let's hide it behind. Okay. Now that we're done with that, those are hidden behind there. They're all ready to be used when we need them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work with now the eyebrow, or as I like to call it, the eye muscles, because the dragon doesn't really have hair on the brow. So that doesn't really count as an eyebrow in my opinion. Okay, we're going to go to angry. Let me try this other head angle of angry. Eyes, right eye, angry. Oh, whoops, that's the one behind her hair. Oopsies. Eye, angry. Okay, there we go. Let me get rid of her hair for a minute. Boop. Oh my god, she's bald. Okay, so as you can, let me get rid of this one too. Let me hide her. There we go. Now we can take a look at Luna with no hair on her head. She looks kind of ugly. Fugly. Okay, as you can see here, she has a brow that's up here and a brow that comes down along here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these brows actually... Oh, okay. As you can see, the brow on the angry was actually hidden inside of the eyelash once again, and this one up here was just basically changing shape. Now watch as I basically move it back to eye open. It just elongated. That was it. Very easy, very simple. Not much to it, believe it or not. Now we're going to go back to this, and we're going to close these out and move over here. Okay, let me just add a long line that's about the same shape of the eyelash, and I'm going to minimize the size of that, close up the edges so they're more smooth, not so rough of an edge, and I'm basically going to hide it down there. There you are. Hidden away from sight. And now for the one that actually remains here, the one that we'll actually see constantly. And I'm going to put that about here. And that actually looks pretty good. Looks like we're doing actually very well. Okay, we are almost done with the standard eye for actually the left eye, because we still have to do the right eye. But I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm not going to get into doing the other eye today. I'm only going to do one eye, because you just basically have to follow the same steps with this eye to do the other eye. So I don't feel like I need to do the other one right now today. I think you guys can totally handle that on your own, since it's basically repeating the same steps we did here today. Okay, let's just put that there. Okay, there we go. Now let's basically stand back and take a good look at it. That looks like a pretty good eye. Now let's add the mouth there. Well, looks like we got ourselves a pretty good eye. Let's not forget though, she has these little eyeliner scales here, this little purple stuff. I don't know what that is. When I made her, I don't know if it's makeup or whatever. Basically, let's now steal the color from this one. Let's now take the color that was used here, and I'll Q, cancel that out, and move over to our eyelid, and let's basically place in those eye thingies. I don't know what they are. Auto stroke and auto close need to be on for this. If you guys are making a Luna, I don't know if you guys are. Yeah. Okay. Let's just basically make these the best we can. These are really shabby, but let's go back and fix them. Okay, there we go. Let's just shorten the size down to about here for the stroke. U, W, and U, W. The stroke doesn't have to be the exact same size, you know, because I think it gives the character more, and basically, yeah, I think it gives a better feel to the character if some of the strokes are actually slightly wider than the rest. It doesn't make it seem so generic, so assembly line, basically. And you probably don't want your character to be very average and assembly line like, unless your character's name is Joe and his last name is Average. Then he'd be Joe Average, or Average Joe, depending on whatever. I don't know. Oh crap. Oh, you can always undo an action by going up to edit and undo, or I think it's Command Z on your keyboard, I think. Let me check that. Yes, Command Z. You can always do Command Z and boom. Okay, so yeah, we're just basically going to go through these little eyeliner stuff. Dragon liner. Like I said, I have no idea what this is. I don't know what this girl puts on her face. But whatever it is, it works and looks pretty sexy. Wow. Did I just call her sexy? That's pretty weird. Well, she is, I guess. I made her that way, to look more appealing to an audience. Well, I would think an audience would want to have a female character a little more attractive, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I don't know, you guys tell me, am I right or wrong on that? Do you guys want a female character that's slightly more attractive or just really plain Jane? Probably the other. Probably the slightly more attractive. That and Silver, her boyfriends, basically threatened me and always said to make her look as pretty as possible, so I'm kind of forced to do that. Great. Good going there, Luna, getting a boyfriend. Why, Luna? Why did you do that? Now I gotta suffer with that and get all the death threats if I don't do everything perfectly right. I am your father. I do everything right. Well, kind of. I'm more of like her manager, her agent in being a good dragon and not doing anything bad in life and keeping on the good path. No drugs, Luna. No smoking. Well, it's kind of hard to tell a dragon because they kind of smoke naturally. Yeah, okay, I'm done talking. Okay, let's see. Let's just fix up. No, I'm not going to highlight all of you. There we go. Something looks wrong with this. This side's too fat. I don't know what's up with it. Let's take a look at what we're doing wrong. That's what we're doing wrong. Okay, so we're just going to pull this side down here. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But yet I'm making a tutorial. Go figure. Go figure that. Okay, let's just make these a little thinner, and there we go. That looks a lot better. Looks like she didn't mess up putting on her makeup. Or, God, I don't know what that is. Scales or makeup. Luna, you tell me. She won't tell me. She never will tell me. That's just her nature. She always likes to leave me in suspense. Okay, so there we go. She has her. There we go. There we go. That's the thing I was looking for. Okay, I did that by pressing T and R for rotate on your keyboard. If you press T, you highlight all the points, and R to rotate. Very simple, very quick, very easy. Yada yada. We're done. Okay. So yeah, there we go. Now that we have Luna's main eye design, what we're going to do is we're going to save. Let's not forget to save. That's kind of important. I failed so many times by not saving my work. Don't fall into the same death trap I have by not saving. Okay, now what we're going to do is to make an eye shape that has the least amount of layers as possible. We're basically going to open up a switch layer, and we're going to name that left eye. Left eye. Okay, and we're going to drag our main point at the center of the layer, basically to the center of the eye, like so. And we're only going to drag the eyelid into the switch layer. We leave the eye white and the eye pupil alone. Now, I found this little trick out that I technically do not need to have multiple pupils and multiple eye whites, because before on my older models I would have like 20 different eye actions, and on each one it had 20 different pupils, and it was just really annoying. And every time, let's say I wanted to make the eye start to shut, I had to drag the other pupil in the same spot as the other pupil was before. It was annoying, it was time consuming, and really it lowered the quality of my animation down greatly. And doing it this way, it really just takes away having to duplicate so many layers, and it actually makes your program run faster, and it makes the program render faster. So when you're rendering out your work, you're not having to worry about basically what was the word I'm looking for? You have to worry about your computer freezing up and crashing on you because you have so many layers. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're actually going to name this, hang on, before we do that, let me go back to my other head here. Okay, so we name this left eye, then we're going to put this eye, okay, we're going to rename this eyelid. Now, we named it eyelid to know what it was when we were working on it, but now we're going to name this left eye happy open. Okay, left eye happy open. Simple, sweet, to the point. There you go. Now we're going to copy this by pushing duplicate layer. We're going to keep our original layer. Don't mess with that, or you're going to find yourself having a really sad time having to redo everything. Happy eye, 1/2 open, or halfway open, basically. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop. Delete this. I skipped a step. Okay, important. This is why you don't want to skip this step. We're going to go to click on this switch layer twice. Click on it twice. Go up to switch. Go up to and highlight Interpolate sublayer. So make sure that's checked. Make sure it's checked. Press OK. This will allow the layers to smoothly transition into each other so the eyes close gently and not with a snap, if that makes sense. Okay, so basically now we're going to duplicate this again. If you want to do that first before you start duplicating your layers, because if you don't, then what you did doesn't count for the duplicated layers you've created. So you want to make sure that before you start duplicating, make sure that your Interpolate sublayer is on. It's highlighted. Okay, so let's just rename this 1/2 open. Sorry if I'm going a little fast for you guys. You guys can always pause the video too and rewind. That's the lovely thing about YouTube. The wonderful world of YouTube. Okay, now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. I'm going to highlight all these and I'm going to press T, and that way I don't have to drag down all the points completely. I'm just going to have to work with these still. I don't know what was faster to do. That or just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, by doing that action I was able to highlight a specific amount of points that I wished to highlight. Okay, so that can make your animation easier or fun or whatever you want it to be. Okay, let's just drag down all these points. Now make sure when you're dragging down all your shapes here, you want them to be in the same original fashion as it was for basically your eye being fully open. Reason why is because if you basically are working with these points and you do it the wrong way or you don't match them up, you're gonna have this weird transition from open all the way to closed, and it's gonna really take away the quality of your animation. Once again, these videos are here to allow you guys to make the best of the best with this program and do it easy. I found easy steps that cut down half the work on trying to basically make the animation look professional. I've been spending, like I said, a long time and basically through trial and error to bring to you guys simple and easy ways on how to make your animations work out wonderfully. Okay, let's not forget this eyelid up here. We're going to want to drag this eyelid down right about here. Okay, now as you can see, the eye opens, eye closes. And actually we're going to drag this little sucker up a little bit, like right here, because the bottom eyelid, believe it or not, does move up too. As many as people like to argue that that doesn't, it does. It's a known fact. It does. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to drag all these eyelid points up, 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 up. Okay, almost there. And we are going to now move these up very slightly. Try moving up as straight as you can. Okay, that way when our eye opens we have a lot of action going on. Now what we're going to do to test it out, you're probably going to want to test this out now. Basically go to a certain frame on your little timeline just by clicking and dragging. We're going to go to frame 12 and I'm going to right click this switch layer, and I'm going to highlight left eye happy open, and I'm going to go to 24 and highlight left eye happy halfway open. Now as you see, as I drag this, take a look at that. Look how beautiful that is. See the transition? Now if I added anything to, let's say, the half open layer, let's say I just started adding lines and such, you wouldn't get that smooth transition because you'd break the chain in between the both eyes, and for some reason that just works that way with the program. So as you can see, we have our working eyes. Okay, there we go. Let's just delete these. Okay, a little important information. Don't start animating with your original file. It's not a good idea. I did that just to show you show you that it works, and I think you should to test out your eyes every once in a while during making them. I don't think you guys, it's a good idea to start doing that all the time, because what will happen is if you forget to delete the part where you animated, it's going to show up on your other projects. Let's say you import this Luna head into stuff. I'm going to see her eye randomly blinking and closing. I'm going to go, I didn't do that. Well, I did it in the original file, and it's just doing that when I import it. So, yeah. Yeah, it sucks when you find out things the hard way. So, left eye, happy, closed. Let's just name this one closed. Okay. Now, for this one, we're just basically going to close the eye. By doing that, we're just basically going to follow the main shape of the bottom eyelid. Very simple, very easy. Wow. Not much work there. Okay. Oh, a little spoiler for the future. I might be holding some drawing contests sometime later in the middle of this year during summer. Because I thought those would always be fun to do. I've tried that out once before when I've had like 20 subscribers. That did not work out well. No one joined, sadly. I had one person join and one person won. Go figure. And anyway, I probably would have made him an animation anyway, so it's not like anyone won anything. But he did a pretty awesome picture with Luna. That's pretty cute. Okay, let's just change this one. Rotate it up. There we go. Rotate it up. Drag points. Okay. These tutorials may be long, but they're chock full of animations. So, for those of you still watching and bearing through it, get ready to be educated. I was about to say educatified. That's a real word. Get ready to be educatified. Okay, so it's just this is a tedious process. I'm not gonna lie. It's back and forth, just working around the clock to get it done. Wait a minute. Okay. Next, what we're gonna do is we're going to drag these points down and basically close out the eye. Okay, let's see. We're just going to drag this down. Okay, now we're going to do the same with the eyebrow. Don't drag it down too much or it's going to really look unrealistic if it's like all the way down here. Because your eyebrow doesn't move down a lot when you blink, but since this is a cartoon we can get away with that more, but not too much. Okay, so now that we've done that, we have our eye closing and eye opening. Now I'm going to test it out and show you guys how this eye is going to work. So basically we're going to go to layer 12. Well, you don't have to, you can go to any layer you want. I'm going to select the eye I want. Whoops, wrong eye. There we go. And you guys should see a closing layer. And as you see there, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. What's this? What's this I see? Oh, I see a failure in the eye closing. This is why you guys should test out your eyes before you make them and just kind of go, okay, I think I got it. Okay, let's fix that right now. Let's fix that right now. We're going to drag these points down here. Drag these 2 points right about there. Then we're going to do it the same here. We're going to drag these points all the way down here. And let's try that again and see if that works out in the way it should. Basically open and close, and there we go. It does a little bit right there, I see, just a little bit, but it's hardly noticeable. I can always fix that by raising up the eyebrow by just, not the eyebrow, the eyelash, just by a tiny microscopic bit. So hang on, let me just raise this part up here. Almost there. Okay, and let me figure out what. There we go. And now that should totally work. Okay. Next, we're going to start working on the eye being angry. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to open up our standard eye and copy that again. Drag that one up to the top and name this one left eye angry open. Now you can name these layers whatever you want. I'm just basically naming them, which I've been naming them since the very beginning and how I remember them myself. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is to remember what this eye looks like angry. I'm going to take a look at this one. It's pretty narrowed, so okay. Let's see. We're just going to drag these points in the right direction. Dang it. Ah, jeez. Dang it again. This is the most tedious part of animation. The stupid rigging. I hate rigging. Not rigging, I'm sorry. Modeling. Rigging's really quick and is actually very fun. But I'm not a very big modeler. I'm not a fan of modeling. It's just not my favorite. If I could get someone to model stuff for me, I totally would. Pay him probably too. Oh my god. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to drag these points here. Put this part down here. Now when the eye is usually angry, it's not open a lot. Now if it was kind of like a shocked, angered, like I said, I can always come back and make changes later. But for the standard expressions that I use practically in everything, and it covers about 90% of the basic expressions that are out there. I don't get too detailed. When it comes to cotton, the new cotton, I'm going to be getting a lot more detailed than I would normally with Luna, like right now, because of the human features, and the human features kind of take over when it comes to what to do on. Whoops, I totally flubbed up there, didn't I? Hang on. Let me. There we go. Let me take this out. This is our angry. Remember from back here, this is our angry eye. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically go over to this Luna. I want to see how I did this Luna again. Right, it's left eye angry. Okay, let me just study that for a minute. It's always good to look at your other models, because you want them to match as much as possible. Okay, so we're going to go over to here, and we're going to take this eye, and we're going to come over here, and basically drag the points where they need to go. Someone's trying to break in this room. Why you no knock? Why do people no knock? I have this new light that I have outside the door, basically saying I'm recording, but as I said before, I think I said in another video that probably won't work the way I want it to. People will still walk in, or try to unlock the door if I lock it. Jeez, I run a YouTube business, people. I run a YouTube business. Please stay out when I record. Okay, so wow, that eye actually looks pretty angry to me. I don't know. So let's drag this piece up, and we're actually going to start pulling this piece out right there. Give it more of that angry, distraught, kind of pissed look. She doesn't look very amused right now. Same with this. Let's pull this out a bit, and we'll start raising these up a lot more. Because when you're angry, your skin's tight, and you're kind of probably pulling your cheeks together a bit. Okay, there we go. So actually, that looks like a pretty angry eye to me. She does not look happy there. Okay, now same as before, we're going to copy it, and we're basically going to make it a half open. Now, I'm going to actually skip these steps, believe it or not. I'm going to move on to the eye sad open. I think you guys basically get the idea. You make your standard eye, and then you make half closed and closed. Then you take your standard eye, copy another one, and make an angry eye out of it, and then copy it again and make it half closed, then closed. I think you guys basically get the general idea of that. So let me move on to the eye being sad. So I'm going to copy the standard and move on to here, and basically go to left eye sad open. And someone tried breaking in again. Wow, I am a very popular person that everyone wants to come to see me. Yeah, I am so popular. Not really. Just everyone probably wants to grab something in here and say, "Oh, are you recording? Oh well, too late, sucker." Okay, I'm done ranting. Okay, so basically we're gonna go to eye open sad, and let me just study what I did there. Okay, so curls up, two, and goes down. Okay, I got what I'm gonna do. Okay, so basically we're gonna actually utilize all the little extra strokes that I have created, except the I've got a text message. I'm so popular. Okay, let me just reply to that. Okay, shutting off my phone now. Goodbye, people. Goodbye. Okay, let's see. We're gonna just basically start working on this sad eye, and the eye when it's sad. If you ever noticed, let me move over to this little chart sheet I had here. You're gonna notice that the tallest point of the eye is gonna be towards the nose, and it's gonna kind of slope down from there, and the cheeks and the bottom eyelid's gonna kind of pull up in a bit of a. I thought I turned you off. My phone. And it's gonna kind of pull up like a little bit of a hill here toward the bottom eyelid. So basically I'm just showing you guys the standard look for eyes and the sad eye. So we're gonna pull these up like here. Oh, I guess everyone's leaving the house now, leaving me home alone. Bye everybody. You couldn't have left before I start the video, but oh well. Goodbye. Goodbye everyone. Don't forget to shut the gates. The dogs are away. Yeah, the dogs are away. Okay. Yes, I talk to myself a lot. Mwah. I'm not crazy. I'm just special that way. Okay, and we're just gonna lower this down a bit, like so. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm almost close. I think I'm almost dropping these eyes down a little too much. There we go. Okay, so we're basically gonna curl up this eyelash bit towards here. Bring this back up since we moved it. And bring that back up too. Okay, and we're just gonna bring this in here. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm doing it right. Okay. Man, I am very scattered brain today for some reason. Oh well. Yeah. Last Dragon Rider has been taking its toll on me. It's been really a lot to work on, you know, and just everything about it. And I'm trying to get these new designs out by episode 5, because that's when the story picks up, and I think that's when we should really start to. Here at the studio, we should really start to pick up our game and quality of the animation, such as basically the look of the characters. They looked a little too cartoony before for the purpose of the series. It just didn't work, sadly, and still in a way does not at all. These new looks will totally more than suffice for the new updated look, the quality of the animation, because now we have all these new tricks that we've found out to basically make the animation so much more better, so much more into it, so much more just basically fun to watch and look at, and honestly it's fun and easier for me to animate as well. It just makes the process overall a lot lighter and a lot cheerier-ish, I guess. Let's pull these up a lot. There we go. Take this and kind of rotate it. There we go. Okay. Remember, you're going to want to spend a lot of time on your eyes, because your eyes are the most important focal part of your character. I cannot stress that enough to you. Everyone's eyes are going to be drawn to your character and their eyes. That is a fact. That is a total 100% fact. You can ask any other person, either a professional in animation, they're going to tell you the eyes are the focal point of that character. Any character, any creature, unless of course they have this big glittering shiny thing on their chest or something. Your eyes aren't probably going to be drawn to it too much. Okay, so that looks like we got it done there. My dogs are barking. Bark, 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 bark. Okay, let's see. Head 45. Let me just check the sad eye. Yeah, looks like I kind of got that. Let me check that eye. You know, I think we're pretty much good here on the eyes. Okay, now to check our work. Now, first we're going to save it. Don't forget to save your project. Important, important, important. Okay, now we're going to move on to checking the different eye transitions. So I'm just going to randomly click different eye transitions and see how they fare well together. And we try sad one more time. There we go. Okay, as you can see, the eye should have a total switch of different eye movements. Here, let me zoom up closer so you guys can see that. Get a lot better look at it. And let me zoom back one. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's take a look at this again. We're going from sad to angry, from angry to the normal standard look, and from happy to sad, back to sad. Look at that. That actually worked out pretty well. Okay, pretty cool. It looks like all of our points added up. You see how those points kind of disappear behind the eyelashes like I was telling you? It's the best place to put them. There's no other better place to put those things than behind the eyelashes because they mesh into it the best. I've tried a lot of different tricks. They just didn't seem to work out better than behind the eyelashes. Okay, so delete, save. Now, like I said, I left out a lot to do with the other eye and some of the other eye options because it's pretty much the same process all the way through. Just copy the same steps you were doing. But if, like I said, if you're doing a sad eye, just make the eye look sad. If you're doing angry eye, then make it look angry. Other than the style of eye, you're basically following the same basic steps. And, well, thank you guys for watching this week's tutorial on eyes. Next week we're going to be probably getting in, actually we are going to be getting into the mouth movements. The mouth itself is probably the most tedious and time consuming out of all. But we're actually not going to get into the eye, into the mouth frowning and the angry expressions and mouth movements with that. We're just going to do the happy look because you can, like I said, you can always just basically follow the same steps and you come out with the same outcome. So if you basically do a happy mouth, you can always basically, you know, curl down the corners and you have your sad mouth. Change a few features, the eyes, and boom, your face looks angry, sad, or distraught, or whatnot. Okay, so join us next week for, like I said, mouth. Join us on Wednesday for Slender videos. Join us on Saturday for Happy Wheels and our special guest star that's going to be coming in playing that for me. I really need a break from that game. And probably a break from Slender, but I really want to get 8 pages. Check out Last Dragon Rider, the series, and which basically predicates around this whole animation thing I'm doing right now. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, website, DeviantArt account, all at the bottom of the description. And I'll be seeing you guys next week. Laters.